Hey guys, what's up? Stock Retail coming back to you. Had a lot of big news this weekend. Obviously, we had the Friday announcement about AMC's forward contract with Goldman Sachs. That's very different from some offerings in the past, so I'll talk a little bit about that, but mainly just look at the last video I did before this. That is a very deep dive on that whole filing and what that means to us. We will touch on that a little bit, but because it got Goldman Sachs involved, because it was a forward agreement, and all the things I explained to you in that video of sort of what that means in terms of game theory, how it looks like the board is setting up. I was being reminded sort of mentally, I don't know, just my memory was going back to some things from 2008 and 2009. And so I wanted to sort of check on whether Goldman was, well, to be honest, I say whether Goldman was involved in that, but of course, in my mind, I knew they had to be. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some history here and how it's, I think, also part of the game theory on what's happening. You can even just see in the title, hey, did you know, basically, Goldman Sachs was its own squeeze before AMC and GameStop ever happened. And so, what does that mean now? And then just a nod here to Shadow. Maybe you saw it trended a couple weeks ago. Shadow has a gun. Um, that's kind of cool. Just excited for Sonic 3 and how big that movie's going to be and just how much fun it's going to be, too. So, what you might not know, let's go through a little bit of history here, is that sort of from mid 2007 until kind of late 2008, Goldman Sachs was basically short attacked. Now, this is not a Goldman Sachs apologist video. I'm not pro Goldman Sachs. I think there's a lot of negative history with them, a lot of fraud and corruption as well. But I said in the last video, in the world of finance, some of these guys, it's not about purity tests. It's just about, a chessboard and who's going to win. So I am coming at this through the lens of AMC winning this long, protracted battle we've been in. As far as values and principles, I'm going to kind of separate that in a conversation here. I'm not changing who I am. I'm not here saying, yay, Goldman Sachs. But I am saying, let's look at the game board and see how this is playing out. That's all I'm talking about here. So if you go back to '07, you can see they were around 20 bucks. This is around like July of '07. Fast forward to kind of mid to late '08, and they had gone down 72% from that sort of almost 20 bucks down to 550. Well, that sounds a lot like us. And look at the shape of this too. Just kind of like you draw these levels and you notice it's a real stair step down, isn't it? Over, down, over, down, over, down. We have experienced that in AMC, haven't we? We have seen this before. So that was drawing my eye too. I was like, I've seen this. This is the function of short attacks, naked shorting, all kinds of manipulation. This is not organic price discovery, in my opinion. Not when it looks this stair stepped over time. So here's a whole year of just stair stepping down, stair stepping down, stair stepping down. That's the activity of shorts. So what you might not know then is in 2008, so around this time, of course, we had the financial crisis caused in many parts by people like Goldman. So that's why I'm not here to defend them. But so what happened is the SEC actually kind of took an emergency action and stopped, halted shorting of financial stocks. So you can see at the bottom left, I've kind of highlighted that for you. If you were to Google this, you could get to the SEC's site. This is actual SEC online filings here. So you could easily fact check this. And then I've just pulled out and sort of zoomed in on, they have a whole list of all the companies that they said, all right, you cannot short these for a while. They paused all shorting. Just think about how you've seen some of that in China over the last year. You've seen that in Korea, South Korea, with some pausing on shorting. This was specific to the financial markets, actually financial companies. And so you can see Goldman was absolutely part of that group. But now what happened? Notice, so I showed you, let's go back a minute ago, this stair stepping down, constantly being attacked by shorts. Now, granted, they had in a way caused their own problem, right? They had caused a financial crisis and needed to be bailed out. And shorts knew this. It's a world of sharks. They know things. They attack each other. They just all want to come out on top. There's not a lot of love in that industry. So they're getting attacked. SEC steps in, says can't attack anymore. Well, what happens? They have a 19x squeeze, 1,905% squeeze into 2009. So it's not much longer. So you get the halt on shorting, and then you fast forward, and you get this huge squeeze. Okay, and I may have misstated the timing on that. No, okay, we got it right. So here you go. So it was in 2008, as I mentioned, the halt on shorting, which leads to this massive squeeze not much longer. And so you can see Goldman, just think of the puzzle pieces that sound like AMC. Just take out Goldman, put in AMC, put in GameStop. Goldman is short attacked. Sharks smell blood in the water. The SEC steps in and stops them. Now that's what's different, right? We've had to fight for ourselves, and we are not going to stop fighting until we win. So note to shorts, we're not leaving. But in this case, the machine kind of protects itself. I think I even oh yeah, so that's here in the title of the slide. The machine sort of protects itself. The SEC steps in, says no, you can't short all these companies anymore, and within a year there is a 19x squeeze. The stock is up, well, it's 20x, but the plus is a plus 19x. So that's a rather large squeeze. Wouldn't mind seeing that soon. That wouldn't even take us to all-time highs for AMC. And not even, I don't think, for Games. Well, GameStop would be close, right? It's like at $29 today, almost 30. So anyway, the point is that would be significant. And I do think we could see a lot more in AMC, but that's another video for another day. So either way, they short squeeze. So just think of those puzzle pieces. They've been attacked, and they find their way out. They squeeze. And now, if you were to look at the chart from there, it kind of it dips hard. You can see the next candle over here. These are, I think, weekly candles I'm showing you. It was a very hard dip after that squeeze, but then over time, fast forward all the way till now, it's been a steady rise, a steady climb up since then. So why does that matter? Well, first off, you need to see all the puzzle pieces here. So I've just told you Goldman Sachs has a history of being attacked, a history of a short squeeze. They come in this forward contract with AMC. So go back to my last video and see that the bottom line of it is Goldman Sachs is going net long on AMC. And I explain a forward contract so you can really understand everything that's been happening. I think that's really important as another puzzle piece. Like I said, you need to see the game board to understand the moves that are happening. So now that Goldman Sachs is going net long AMC, some questions. And I think you can sort of theory these out. Do they remember who shorted them? Right? So who was it that was doing that ladder attack basically on them that we've seen many times in AMC and GameStop? Do they know the tricks to stop short attacks? I think the answer is obvious there. And I'm being speculative here. Do they know that AMC is about to enter a thrive period? Well, they're going net long. It's in the filing. They themselves said they're going to hedge short, but then they're going to buy way more shares long than what they hedge short. So they're going net long. They were attacked. They had to fight for their own survival. And that we believe AMC is entering a thrive period, in particular the box office in 2025 and 2026. So you can connect all those pieces and see kind of what that means. A couple other topics real quick, shorter video today. I'm getting pinged a lot. I would say, I don't know, probably about 2/3 sort of shilly smelling and about 1/3 real apes. And so I will, answer the question. I'm getting pinged a lot on, well, hey, after this 50 million share offering forward contract, remember, you really need to review what that means. It's a 6-month process potentially. Anyway, people are just saying, all right, so if there's not a lot of shares left, what does that mean? And I'm getting a sort of FUD type of questions on that as well, kind of fear-based, right? What's fear, uncertainty, and doubt? So I'm getting some fear-based questions, some from maybe apes who are letting themselves be filled with fear, others from shills who are trying to seed that fear. And so I will go ahead and answer that soon, but just a few things to remember. Again, all about the forward contract. So watch that video. It could mean money now, yes, but also maybe a lot more money later. That's going to be part of my answer. So I'm giving shills some notes to try to prepare to kind of, have an anti-me. For that reason, and also one other big reason that I'm not going to say here, so shills, I won't give you that one yet. I'm not concerned, but I will go ahead and talk about it. I'm getting asked enough. Maybe that's kind of the next video or something. Also, something else that one person tried to attack me on, I'm surprised it wasn't more than one, was the Q3 earnings. That didn't come in like some of us believed it would. I had 10, 11 quarters in a row where I was so accurate that I beat Wall Street even on my forecasts. Had like 98, 99% accuracy on earnings forecasts. didn't get there in Q3. I don't mind owning that. And I've told you guys over and over and over, if you have a forecast, it's wrong. That's literally the saying in planning and forecasting, which is where I come from. So I will talk about, okay, why was it wrong? And what does that mean going forward? I have not forgotten that. I actually did a Q3 teardown prep and then just got real busy in my personal life. So that's kind of sitting on the shelf for me. I'll do that again as kind of a future video. Just a couple sort of, I don't know, breadcrumbs before I do that, or teases, I suppose. Really, Q3 was all about Europe and about U.S. urban areas. That's what AMC, told us in the earnings call. I also think it's related to some of those fake fluencer attacks. You can find a video I have about that. We had a bunch of accounts who kind of call themselves MAGA, sort of conservative. I do not believe they're actually supportive of anything in that movement. I think they're just clickbait accounts who saw a chance to get paid and attack AMC. And you can go back and find my video on that. That was definitely a thing that happened last quarter. And so it's possible that basically our attendance took a hit because the movies were bigger in Latin America than they were in Europe. We have our presence more in Europe internationally, and then also the movies were bigger in kind of suburban centers than urban. So I'm giving you some of the reasons, but I'll do a much deeper dive on that. I'm not hiding from that, as some would like to accuse me of. Just got busy, so I will come back to that, and then we'll talk about future quarters and what does the future look like and all of that. So all of that will be tied together. So some final thoughts. I do believe Goldman Sachs or GS has a memory. They may not be an angel, but they also may not be fighting us anymore. Let's see. I can't promise that. That's just a kind of a game theory belief of mine. If they're going net long, if they have this history of being attacked and having gone through a squeeze themselves. See that filing video if you want to understand a lot more. It was very complicated. I had to read through 91 pages for you. This hedging activity that's followed by buying for Goldman Sachs probably helps you understand what's even happening in the price action today as I speak, what's coming up, why I'm still bullish, and then just a little bit of coding. History repeats itself. Talk to me, Goose. Like I said, soon I'll do some Q4 final numbers. I'll do the Q1 and Q2 forecast. Love looking forward at the movies that are coming. See the movies that we've got this quarter. And as you know, we will win. Let's go.